Hey guys, I'm here at my local butcher, Chinatown Butcher, seeking out the best piece of pork. I'm going to show you how to make my all-time favorite, the Chinese barbecue pork. Just as good as the restaurants, but even better. Stick around, you won't want to miss this one, right here on Chames. Before we get into this video, if you're new to my channel, welcome and thank you for clicking on to my video. Click the link below to subscribe to my channel. Click that noti bell so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up by clicking that like button. So the cut that I'm using for this recipe is a collar butt. The reason why I'm using collar butt because it has a nice balance of fat, and it is the fat that's going to keep your meat really juicy and moist. If you do use a leaner piece of meat, you will find that it will dry out as it's cooking in the oven. So I do recommend using this type of cut. For our marinade, I'm adding hoinsin sauce. I have some oyster sauce. Light soy sauce. I've got some honey that's going in. I have some sesame oil. And that goes. I have Shaoxing wine. I have some white sugar that I'm adding to the marinade. Some 5 spice powder. Bit of salt. And finally, I have some fermented red bean curd. Now this is going to give you that rich red color to your pork. Now if you do go to some Chinese restaurants, you will find that their barbecue pork is very, very red. Now some of them don't actually use bean curd, or they may use bean curd, but they definitely use red coloring, and I'm not all about the red coloring. So I'm using the fermented red bean curd. So we just want to add a couple of the bean curds in. And I also want to add a bit of the sauce as well. Like that. And now we want to give this a good mix. Oh, straight away that marinade has become very red. So that's going to be quite good when we marinate our pork. So our marinade is ready. It is now time to marinate our piece of pork. I'm going to be using a Ziploc bag to put my pork in with the marinade. You can use a dish. I just find it a lot easier and better to clean up when I'm using a Ziploc bag. So I'm going to put the pork inside. Just like so. Okay, and we are now going to add the marinade straight into the bag. All right, close that up. Alright, and you just want to rub that marinade into the meat. All right.
An eternity later.
So our pork has now been marinating for the last 24 hours. It's time to get this bad boy out of the fridge. Oh, as soon as you open that bag, the aroma of the spices and the sauces smells really good. Beautiful colour to this meat. We're just going to take this out and put this onto our board here. Our pork is looking nice, well marinated. It's got a nice colour to it. And I'm going to slice this cut in half lengthways, and then we're going to put this on our tray. So I'm just placing our pork onto a wire rack, and I've got some aluminium foil that's just on the bottom there, just to catch any of the marinade so it doesn't burn and much easier to clean up. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to cover the bottom of the tray. That's just going to help steam the pork and keep that pork nice and juicy. Pork goes in the oven, 180 degrees, and we're going to put that in there for the first 20 minutes. So for the leftover marinade, we're going to use this to baste our pork. But before we do that, we are going to cook this marinade first. In goes our marinade into a saucepan. And we're going to bring this to the boil. Okay, now our marinade is starting to boil. We just want to turn the heat down to low, and we just want to gently simmer that until that marinade starts to thicken up. So our sauce is looking good. I'm now going to put this sauce aside. Remove our sauce. That marinade is nice and thick, and that will be good to start basting our pork. So our pork has been in the oven for 25 minutes. Now we are going to give it its first basting. So I'm going to use a pastry brush, and we're just going to start basting our pork. All right, we're going to pop this back into the oven for another 20 minutes. This pork is smelling very good. We're going to remove this for its final basting, and then I will pop this back in for a further 10 to 15 minutes. Whoo-wee! That pork has just come out of the oven, and we're going to let that rest for 15 minutes. That is looking delish. All right, the moment of truth. Oh, lovely. Not too dry, very moist. Got that nice coating on the outside, and look at those beautiful juices. Oh my goodness. Now, if that's not food porn, then I don't know what is. Beautiful. I'm so excited to give this a go. Oh, that is some barbecue pork, let me tell you. I told you that I was going to make this as good as the restaurants, if not better. This is where the Chinese barbecue pork is at. That meat is so juicy, not dry at all. And that's the thing about barbecue pork, you got to make sure that you don't overcook the pork. The juices are just spilling out of that meat. That lovely marinade. You can taste all the elements that are coming through. You can taste the hoinsin sauce. You can taste the 5 spice, the honey. It's got a lovely outer layer coating of the honey. Oh, that pork, I tell you, is absolutely delicious. You must try this recipe at home for yourself. And also guys, just to give you a little bit of an update about my channel, coming up very, very soon, and I mean next month soon, I will be traveling to the Philippines to embark on a new food journey. If you've been to the Philippines, please comment down below. I want to know. And if there are any food suggestions or places you want me to visit while I'm in the Philippines, also comment down below. I will be seeking out their street foods, trying some of their delectable foods, or maybe not so delectable, but I am ready, I am pumped, and I cannot wait to go. I've also got another massive surprise that I've been working on, which is also why I'm going to the Philippines, and I want to share it with you, but I'm not going to tell you until closer to the time. So make sure you stick around on my channel. Click that noti bell so that you are always updated with new videos and updates that I post on my channel here and while I'm also in the Philippines. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. Thanks for watching my videos. That is it here on Chames Eats.